First tonight, obligated or not, the Free National Movement leader calling shame on Prime Minister Davis after he refused to meet with union leaders following 2 days of protests. Plus, plans to expand access to affordable health care for all Bahamians are still well underway. The health minister provides a comprehensive update. And later, it's streaming top 10 in the Bahamas as a Bahamian cake artist is making her mark in the Netflix competition series Is It Cake? Renika Gibbs is sharing her journey. We've got the details for these stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. As the standoff between the Bahamas National Alliance of Trade Union Congress and government drags on, Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard calling it a shame that the Prime Minister hasn't met with them yet. It came after the union protested for the second time this week and delivered a letter to the Prime Minister Thursday morning. The union wants answers on a salary review proposed by the government that was delayed to December. Pintard believes it's a behavioral pattern by the Prime Minister.
So it's a pattern of behavior of only responding when there's pressure. When the unions came out here, again, with workers who are asking for what is legitimately they are entitled to, again, at the end of the day, the Prime Minister came out of the House and even some media falsely attributed to him that, oh, look, he's a man of the people. No, he was under pressure. Pressure was tall and he responded to it. But now, because he's unable to answer the questions they've been asking, he doesn't want to meet it. It's a shame.
The Prime Minister met with union and Congress heads Thursday. The BNA-TUC was not involved in those meetings. Meanwhile, Pintard believes it seems the Prime Minister doesn't respond favorably when things are not going his way.
It reveals that, when things are going the Prime Minister's way, he's personable, very engaging, but when he have tough situations that he's unable or unwilling to provide answers for, you see the real him. And he does not feel that he is obligated to sit down with his people, consult in advance in most cases, and then answer tough questions when we ask it.
Deputy Prime Minister and Progressive Liberal Party Deputy Leader Chester Cooper telling the 14 ratified candidates that the work is just beginning ahead of the next general election. While it's unclear when a general election will be called, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced a by-election is on the way for Golden Isles. The party ratified Darren Pickstock as its candidate for the area. Cooper telling supporters the party is looking for a second term in office, and he says it requires work from all members and ratified candidates. He reminded them of who they are here to serve.
We must stay humble. We must stay focused. We must keep working. We're not here to serve ourselves, but to serve the Bahamian people. All of them. The vulnerable, the forgotten, the dreamers, and those striving for better days.
Cooper reminded the candidates that they have been called to serve, adding that there is nothing more rewarding than service that changes lives and restores hope.
From this moment, you will walk more roads, shake more hands, and hear more stories than you've ever heard before. That's what it takes to earn the trust of the Bahamian people. So yes, we celebrate tonight, but tomorrow what we gotta do, get back to work.
Police on Eleuthera are investigating an overnight traffic fatality in Tarpon Bay. Police tell us they responded to the scene on Queens Highway shortly before 9 p.m. They found a vehicle that had collided with a tree off the main road with extensive front-end damage. The injured and unresponsive male driver was the sole occupant. He was pronounced dead on the scene by a doctor. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville says government is moving full steam ahead with plans to expand access to affordable health care for all Bahamians. He spoke on the sidelines of the opening ceremony for the 16th Annual Caribbean Conference on National Health Financing Initiatives held at the Margaritaville Resort. He explains that the focus right now is on perfecting universal primary health care, ensuring Bahamians have access to basic services like doctor visits, lab tests, and diagnostics without breaking the bank.
The first thing we have learned from our healthcare planners and our advisors is you must get universal primary healthcare coverage right. Because when you begin to roll out more complex, more expensive packages like catastrophic care and the full basic package, the financial burden increase. And so our key is to basically get universal primary healthcare coverage right so that early detection of diseases. And so we save a lot of money down the road, and that is where we believe the cost savings will come.
Under the new bill, more diagnostic services inclusive of breast, prostate, and colorectal screening will be covered in an effort to catch ailments and diseases early. The health minister said there are currently over 160,000 members enrolled in NHI. Despite not being fully rolled or implemented, Darville says the Bahamas is leading among other Caribbean countries.
Bahamas trailblazing in the Caribbean. We've launched universal primary health care, and a couple months ago I laid in Parliament the new bill, which will take us to where we need to go to ensure that healthcare services are provided in a more strategic and a more diverse way, where we will expand universal primary healthcare coverage where Bahamians will have access to more diagnostics, more labs, and to make life easier, particularly for those in the family areas.
The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, BAIC, continues to drive initiatives aimed at supporting local farmers and food processors. Chairman Senator Darren Pickstock says several projects are underway to boost production and create greater market access for farmers. Speaking on the sidelines of a signing of a memorandum of understanding with a Canadian company for the production of pepper sauces made by Bahamian goat peppers, Pickstock says the corporation is working closely with partners like the Chetty's Foundation to help farmers and food processors increase output and build sustainable supply chains.
We're very excited about this project. Of course, we run a number of projects at BAIC. Right now, we are doing a commercialization program where farmers are providing their products to BAIC for onward forwarding to manufacturers and retailers. And so we're assisting them as the middle person to organize all of that. And so we give them more exposure to markets. And so that has been very successful. And so we're very excited about that program as well.
BAIC operates under the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources with a mandate to promote agribusiness, support small manufacturers, and encourage food security. Through programs like the Commercialization Initiative, farmers can sell their crops to BAIC, which then distributes them to local retailers, hotels, and food processors. Pickstock notes that while production levels are steady, there's still a need for increased output nationwide.
Production level is steady, but it's very clear that production needs to be ramped up with our farmers, and so we need to be producing more. And with that, the government is supporting our farmers to allow them to ramp up more. But suffice it to say, there is room for our farmers to ramp up production.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, a leading local airline clearing up some recent controversy. The CEO is addressing a now viral video, plus extending the hand of friendship. Students at a local junior high school now have a more comfortable environment thanks to a timely donation. We'll tell you all about it when our news weekend returns.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
Well, Western Air, the center of public controversy recently, a video posted on social media of disgruntled passengers on a delayed flight went viral, sparking backlash. In the In the video, individuals can be seen complaining to airport employees about several issues, including what they felt was a lack of communication on updates concerning the flight and that representatives from the airline were nowhere to be found. President and CEO Rex Roll telling Our News that inclement weather created a flight backlog last week. She says she understands the frustrations of those passengers and there are internal matters the company must acknowledge.
We do have a company that we contracted there in Fort Lauderdale to handle passenger and ground handling. And we recognize that we have to continue to work with them to ensure that they have the same standards and policies as we do domestically in how we handle passengers in regards to delays or any form of cancellation.
Now, Roll confirmed that the flight was in fact delayed and not canceled. However, passengers were refunded and additional requests for reimbursements can be made through the company's customer service email. Well, students at L.W. Young Junior High School won't have to sit in hot assembly ceremonies for much longer as the Chinese embassy in the Bahamas is funding the air conditioning project for its auditorium. For years, students have had to endure the warm tropical heat, but soon the main facility where they gather in the mornings will be outfitted with air conditioning. Presenting the donation at the school's prefect pinning ceremony this week was Deputy Chief of Missions and Area Member of Parliament Fred Mitchell.
I want to make it totally in the context of a friendship, an alliance with China in all of the issues around peace and security and the development of the world, one world, and it is an extraordinary act of friendship.
We believe China and the Bahamas are the brothers and friends. We are part of the fleet going to the same destiny of a community of a shared future.
And while we don't know the exact amount of the donation, school principal Deborah Thompson says outfitting the auditorium with air conditioning can cost around $12,000. She says the positive impact outweighs the cost.
I had to stop myself from crying because it has been a project that is long in the making. But I will say that this is very, very important because it's not just an air conditioning of an auditorium, but that is the place that we gather. That is the place that we are spiritually fed. That is where we have our assemblies. And so it really means a lot to us and to the children that they are comfortable there. The other thing is that with the Chinese embassy and the Chinese people extending this hand of friendship, it means that the students will grow with that in them, knowing that their village extends to more than just their families or extended family or even the Bahamas and the Bahamian people.
All right, well, still to come on Our News Weekend, celebrating 20 years of fueling the caffeine cravings of coffee lovers. Our Danielle Miller takes us inside Starbucks' Bahamas' recent anniversary party. But first,
Bahamian Hoopers ball out in the NBA and some local soccer coaches get certified. Our sports weekend is up next.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful.
Good evening, welcome to Our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. Bahamians had a busy Friday night of preseason basketball in the association. VJ Edgecombe went off last night to help his Philadelphia 76ers log a 126-110 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. The rookie guard from Bimini had 26.6 rebounds and 3 assists in the win, and he wreaked havoc on defense, pilfering 5 steals and was perfect from the charity stripe, making all 4 of his free throw attempts. Tyrese Maxey led the Sixers with 27 points and 7 assists. Buddy Hield came off the bench for his Golden State Warriors as they lost 106-103 to the LA Clippers. The long-range bomber from Grand Bahama had 11 points in 23 minutes, going 4 of 10 from the field, making 3 threes on 9 attempts. DeAndre Ayton had a near double-double with 13 points and 9 rebounds, but he probably wishes he scored a couple more. His LA Lakers lost 117-116 to the Sacramento Kings. The New Providence-born big man went 5 of 8 from the field and 2 of 4 from the stripe. His draft mate Luka Doncic had 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists for the Lakers. And now the NBA is on a break until Tuesday when Ayton and the Lakers go up against Hield and the Dubs. Check that out if you want to see two Bahamians go up against each other at the highest level. A little closer to home, the BFA is helping local coaches step their game up. The Bahamas Football Association has announced that a group of coaches from a number of island schools and clubs have received their CONCACAF C license after completing part 1 of the course back in August. The 6-day course included classroom work and on-field live action drills designed to enable coaches to put their players in a position to perform optimally regardless of their skill levels or ages. With part 1 of the course done, the coaches are now in the development stage where they get to put what they learned to the test in real-world scenarios. In this statement, BFA thanked CONCACAF for its support and the coaches for the energy and enthusiasm that they brought to the course. And the BFA also has a virtual training center with free online resources to help all coaches out. So if you're a soccer coach or you're interested in coaches, be sure to check it out. That'll do it for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tej Adderley. I'll see you tomorrow night.
On the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKinsey steps into the weather center. He's got a look at your weekend temperatures and your extended forecast. Stick with us.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look now at your Saturday evening forecast. We're currently outside our studios under mostly cloudy skies, but the temperature 80 feels like comfortable at 82. Winds from the east at 14 miles per hour. Across the country, we have 78 in Freeport, 77 in Marsh Harbor, 79 in Governor's Harbor, Great Harbor Key, 80s in Allenstown, Nicholstown, and in the capital. Central Bahamas, we have 81s in Camps Bay, 79s in Arthurstown, Coburn Town, Port Nelson, and in Deadman's Key, Long Island, 78 in Georgetown, 82 Black Point Exuberant. Southeast Bahamas, 82s continue. Duncan Town as well as Colonel Hill, 81 in Delectable Bay as well as Providenciales, 79 in Abrahams Bay, 80 Matthew Town and satellite and radar composite at this time. Not much in terms of showers across the area, much relief. We do have some cloudiness just to the south of us, all courtesy of old frontal system moving out the area, high pressure remaining large and in charge, stable condition. Taking a look now at the tropics where we are continuing to monitor this area. This tropical wave, the National Hurricane Center is giving it about a 30% chance for possible development over the next several days. We will continue to monitor it as it moves westward into the Caribbean Sea where it is expected for possible development. But this system should dump some rainfall across our brothers and sisters Isles tomorrow and late tomorrow night. Boarding forecasts, small craft operators advised to be extra careful. There are some large swells, winds east on seas 3 to 5, but up to 10 feet offshore. Low tide at 12:56 a.m., low tide at 7:07 a.m. tomorrow. Central and southeast Bahamas again. See pretty much rough conditions for boaters. Southeast 15 to 20 on seas 4 to 7, but up to 12 feet offshore in those. In your extended forecast, stable conditions throughout the week, but by the weekend we have a frontal system that should stall just to the north of the capital, increasing rain chances again, highs in the mid to upper 80s, low temperatures in the mid to low 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, you may recall during the COVID-19 pandemic, a viral internet meme was born on YouTube and TikTok. Is It Cake? In 2022, Netflix capitalized on the trend and created a show called Is It Cake? Chefs compete for cash as they attempt to trick celebrity judges with their creations. The trend involves skillfully decorated cakes that are presented like everyday objects and then revealed as hyper-realistic cakes when a knife slices through. On October 8th, the 4-episode Halloween special aired featuring Bahamian Ronique Briggs. She moved to Canada 10 years ago to pursue her career in architecture and tells us how she got into making cakes.
After I graduated, it took me about 5 months to get a job. So in the 5 months, it was like from December to May. So in that 5 months, my daughter's birthday was in February. So I was home like bored. So I'm like, let me just make her a cake for her second birthday. And
was that the first time you ever made a cake?
That's the first time I baked a cake ever in my life.
Wow.
So it started from there. And then I started getting family and friends to get cakes for me. And then they started to challenge me to give me like more hyper realistic stuff. And once I got into that, I'm like, okay, we're not going back.
And in case you haven't seen the series as yet, spoiler alert, Ronique finished in the top 3 and shared her experience on the Netflix show.
I'm still over the moon about the experience because it was like going from what we did and how everything was to go into like my regular life. I was like, really? I could be living this good? But going into my first bake, honestly, I picked the shoe because everyone knows I love making shoes, but at first, I didn't notice it was a velvet texture until I got closer up to the shoe. So that's the main thing I was worried about. And obviously, he had the same texture as me. And if you watch the show, you'll see how it turned out.
All right, and congratulations again to Ronique. Now, there are some Bahamians who will tell you their first stop on their morning commute is one of the many Starbucks locations. The popular coffee house recently celebrated 20 years of serving the local community in a big way. Our Danielle Miller reports.
Celebrating 20 years of cultivating a culture. From tea drinkers to coffee drinkers, Starbucks Bahamas commemorates a milestone and a way of life that hit the Bahamas by storm. The excitement of Starbucks' partners, or what we may refer to as team members, charged their Harbor Bay location during the company's 20th anniversary celebrations. The space was transformed with decorative balloons, a live coffee demonstration, displays of flavored cupcakes, and a beverage station featuring their limited anniversary drink, Bahama Blush. General Manager of Starbucks Bahamas, Dino, crediting their success story to their loyal customers and the commitment of over 200 Starbucks partners.
So we're grateful. We don't take it for granted. We continue to grow. Like Inga said, we're looking at opening our 17th store very soon.
Director of Business Development at John Bull Group of Companies, Inga Boleg, says they were initially anxious about if the local market would be receptive to their first store, which opened in 2005 at the Marina Village on Paradise Island.
We knew that Starbucks resonated wholly and solely completely with our U.S. market tourist base, and we thought all along that, and it's been said that Bahamians are tea drinkers, they're not coffee drinkers. Well, we are here today, 20 years later, to prove them absolutely incorrect.
She says the opening of their Southwest Plaza location solidified that the brand was now embedded into the lifestyle of thousands of Bahamians.
They started coming to us in that community and all of the other communities for more than coffee. It's become a gathering place. So we always say you have your home, your office, or your home, your school, and your third place is Starbucks.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much, Danielle. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.